entered the Lionsgate portal, and now we are entering an intense eclipse portal season that'll take us all the way through October's harvest moon. And who can use an energy clearing already? I thought I'm just going to start this one out with a little bit of energy clearing because I am still not over my hangover from the last energy portal, that Lionsgate portal. Let's all take a deep breath and just try to clear out the last energy portal and get ready for the next big eclipse portal that we're moving into. And if you're sensitive at all, I know you must be feeling all the feels just like I am. And I've just been having so many technological issues too. Oh my gosh, I'm still having some technological issues I was having before I started this video. And so I hope this is all gonna come through and I'm not just spinning my wheels. And that's what it will really feel like this whole month. Later in September, we are going to have a rare second Virgo new moon that will be that partial solar eclipse. So this is considered a blue new moon. When you have these two new moons in the same sign, this time it is Virgo. When it's back to back like this, it's very rare. The moon will not be colored blue, but they say once in a blue moon, wishes do come true. So there's a real energy here that anything is possible now. Are you feeling that energy coming through? Darling, what seeds of intention would you plant on this powerful new moon Virgo moving into the eclipse portal? If you could make anything happen now, if you simply could not fail, what would be your seed of intention? Dig deep, my friends, because this is a magical moment. And we're still in that magical triangle of alchemy where we can become whatever we want to become. We've all got our superpowers. So leave your new moon intentions in the comments and I will send you distance Reiki energy for them to come true. And this is something I do in my Reiki level 2 when we get those Reiki symbols and the Reiki mantras, and we can use the mantras and the symbols to send distance Reiki across time and space, and anything is possible. And that's what this Virgo blue moon feels like. We send the energy out. We ask, believe, and receive, and anything, make a wish, anything is possible. We have so many lucky transits I'm going to go through today. And I just find it interesting that as we begin this new moon Virgo, just entering into the eclipse portal, the great unknown, where we will be transformed. It reminds me of like going through a car wash of transformation. And as we enter it, we're like, I have no idea what's going to happen. We're at 0 degrees of Virgo. This is the birth of something brand new, the very beginning, a brand new direction, a brand new path, a major shift for all of us into a brand new paradigm. Just as we have all of those planets orbiting in that powerful 0 to 2 degrees of their sign in the magic triangle. I spoke about this in another recording. I'll drop it down below if you haven't watched it. This magic trine, grand trine, that is also forming a kite with Mars, Right now, we have Uranus in Gemini, Saturn and Neptune in Aries, Pluto in Aquarius, and they are all in that 0 to 2 degrees. I can't remember ever seeing so many power planets in that 0 to 2 degrees mark. And that means we are all beginning this new awakening. And it really reminds me of The Lord of the Rings, which my son has made me watch way too many times. I have that movie memorized, but it's like, just like in The Lord of the Rings, when they're just starting out on their grand adventure to return the ring to Mordor, and they just have no idea what will come and what lies ahead. Sure, there will be challenges, obstacles, and struggles for us all, but we're all setting out on this new intention, this new goal, this new plan. Virgos love to plan. So this double Virgo, it's like it's time to make a plan and set out on that plan, not knowing what lies ahead. And the plan keeps changing and evolving as we go on. We're just all collectively entering a brand new, brave new world. It's that brave new world that we're co-creating, full of bold new adventures and things we've never seen before. And we will all have to step into our power. And that is the gift of the magic triangle. We will step into our power and become who we're meant to be to accomplish whatever is coming known in or coming next in this great unknown. And I talked about that all in the Magic Trine video, where we have that kite transit, and for the next 2 years we will be stepping into our power, becoming who we're meant to be, and all these big powerful lessons. For right now, we just have this sun and moon in Virgo at 0 degrees as we enter this eclipse portal. And I'm going to read the Sabian symbol a little bit later for that. And then the next new moon in Virgo will be at that critical 29 degrees of Virgo. That last point, that critical degree where you simply have to make a change for your very survival. Have you had any planets? I have my Pluto in 29 degrees. You don't want Pluto at a critical degree, man. It's a lot of transformation and working on yourself, I tell you. But this new moon will be a partial solar eclipse in Virgo when we have the next new moon Virgo, which is happening on September 21st. I have a certain friend that's birthday is September 22nd. I know she's going to be feeling it. Are my Virgo Pisces friends feeling this already? I mean, we're already soaking in it right now. And the last time we had a Virgo eclipse in that critical 29 degrees was in 2006. And that was a really big year. And it also happened in 1987. If you were alive back then, if you're Gen X like me, think about what was going on for you in 2006 and 1987 if you were around, because we're about to go through a very similar situation. It's a revisal, it's a review, it's a let's do that thing better this time, right? Those big life lessons that we didn't master, and now we got to go back and redo our homework. The teacher says this paper needs work. And so you got to go back and revise and make a new edition. And Virgos are good at that. So get organized and do the redo. And this eclipse portal is beginning. This new moon and sun in Virgo are squaring Uranus in Gemini. This is affecting all the mutable signs the most. So Virgo, Gemini, Sagittarius, and Pisces, get ready to be ready for some big quantum shifts, sudden, unexpected, shocking events, Uranus, that bring huge breakthrough aha moments. And remember, squares are always that diamond making pressure. So it can bring challenges, obstacles, and it will have you praying to my friend Ganesh over here. I'm dyslexic. Praying to Ganesh for help because Ganesh is the one we can pray to remove obstacles and challenges because Ganesh is the god who put them there. So I thought this eclipse portal, we're going to need the power of the Hindu god Ganesh to get us through. And it's his birthday coming up too. So we can pray to Ganesh and chant to Ganesh to help us related to wherever your mutable signs are. We all have the mutable signs of Virgo, Gemini, Sagittarius, and Pisces somewhere in your chart. If you know where they are in your chart, leave it in the comments. I'd love to give you a mini reading of what that's going to mean for you because it's going to be affecting us. The whole eclipse portal is going to affect us at those 0 degrees to 29 degrees of the mutable signs. And there could be some huge impacts in our world at large. There could be big geomagnetic activity. Uranus controls storms, hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, lightning, and thunder. I think of Thor, the thunder god. But we could also have earthquakes, volcanoes, and potential storms. Where I live in the Pacific Northwest, we're already moving into La Nina. That name always scares me because La Nina means big snow for the Pacific Northwest. And the last time we had La Nina season in 2016, I believe, we had a snowmageddon. And the warnings for La Nina are starting in September in this eclipse portal. And in the 9-star key astrology, this month is a hurricane month, which goes all the way through September 10th. We're in the hurricane in the 9-star key. I did a separate video. Check it out. Boy, I am just leaning into the 9-star key lately because it is my salvation. The 9-star key is really helping me to navigate this weird energy of this year. And this mutable square means everything is up in the air. Mutable square, it's up in the air. This season, we will have a hard time making decisions, making commitments. I'm not really sure what I'm doing, is the vibe. Are we coming or going? I'm not going to sign a contract. I don't know what I'll be doing next year. And making any big purchases or committing to any long-term plans right now is really hard. I know I'm personally dreaming of a brand new forest green Audi. I would love to get a new car, but there's just so much uncertainty right in our world right now. Are you feeling the uncertainty of our world? That I feel like I might need that money to relocate to a new country when Putin takes Alaska. I think Putin is really going to try to take Alaska. It's interesting. Russia used to own Alaska until Russia went into debt and was broke, and then America bought Alaska. And I think Russia is coming to want to buy Alaska back because now America is broke and we're the one in debt and we're the one in trouble. And so I think that's a real reason Trump and Putin were meeting in Alaska to negotiate the sale of Alaska. Is that wild? There's a lot of Russian propaganda saying Putin is going to take Alaska. But anyways, hard to make decisions when all this chaos, this hurricane in our world. And if you happen to have North Node Pisces or North Node Virgo, look in your chart, look up your North Node, because if you're in that nodal return, North Node Pisces, North Node Virgo, raise your hand. You are in the nodal return boot camp that you didn't even know you signed up for. You signed up for it before birth. It's where spirit says, go here, do this. It's all completely out of your control. There will be things that you will be forced to do by circumstance. You just have to do it. You have to move. You have to quit your job. You have to get a new job. You have to break up. And this will stretch you to your maximum capacity to dig deeper into your greatest strength, deep into your will and finding your grit, because it's a major spiritual growth spurt with the most transformative karmic soul lessons that you simply cannot ignore. I would prefer to ignore karmic soul lessons, believe me, but Ganesh, he's not going to let you. I mean, this is like why you are here right here now. It's written in your soul contract. Don't you remember signing that soul contract? If you don't remember, you might want to get the contract out and read the fine print, because this is the moment that everything is coming to the Pisces Virgo nodal axis for what you signed up for to complete the tests you have to pass, the lessons that there's no escaping. So my advice always for a nodal return is to surrender to the process or be dragged. Just surrender, just go with what spirit wants you to do and do the thing, because it's going to be really affecting the mutable signs. And if you know where Virgo and Pisces show up in your chart, pay attention to these areas specifically. Major events are going to be happening here for us all, and it can feel very unstable. And it's like when you have to go backwards in life before you can launch forward, you may have a failure that, that when what you don't want is actually causing you to desire your Esther Hicks talks about like your resistance to things, and that causes contrast, causes you to desire, I don't like my job, I'm going to get a better job. I don't like my relationship, I'm going to get a better relationship. I don't like where I'm living. So this is a time to dig deep into what is working in your life and what isn't working, and what do you need to do to make a change. So use the contrast, the things you don't like about what's going on, to push you forward into what you want. And this is going to help you desire for something better, and then go fight for it and go after it and go get your dream life. This is a manifesting moon, but it comes through hard lessons. It doesn't come easy in this eclipse. And when we get to that new moon Virgo, that second new moon Virgo solar eclipse in the critical degree, whew, it gets real hard. And I've already been reading some of these eclipse astrology chart readings, and it is so fascinating what everybody's going through. And it's funny who decides to get an eclipse reading, because it almost always ends up being someone who has Virgo or Pisces North Node, and they just happen to get a reading, not even knowing that's their North Node, and someone who needs guidance right now. I'm just really having a good time looking at this. And I'm doing a sale on eclipse readings. Right now, I have 8 more spots left, just 8 spots. I can't overwhelm my whole schedule, and I want to get these to you before the eclipses really get rolling. And if you want to add a Zoom on, that is really fun, because we can connect on Zoom. I can pull up your chart and show you where things are going. I thought about pulling up a chart today to show you all of the magic triangle and all these aspects, but I'm just doing this last minute before I have clients today and Zoom readings today. So I am going to put the charts in the post, and I'm going to show some of these transits in separate little images. So if you're really interested in, if you're learning astrology and you want to know where is that square Uranus to the mutable signs, I'll put that in a separate post, and you can take a look at those and get more of an understanding. And you will really thank Goddess that you decided to get an eclipse reading to help you get through this eclipse portal this season, because I can offer strategies and coping mechanisms and a way to just sort of avoid the chaos that is coming for us all. Plus, I always offer a little distance Reiki and an energy pendulum clearing for each and every reading right now. So I will put the link down below. Get your chart, and I will tell you both the blood moon eclipse in Pisces and that solar eclipse in Virgo. Get yours now before they sell out. Like I said, I only have 8 more spots. And I'm even charting a few babies who are going to be born in this eclipse portal right now because I do prenatal massage. So I am looking at some really exciting babies coming in who are just change makers because they will be born within an eclipse portal. And I also want to revisit that Jupiter exalted at 15 degrees of Cancer. That is his exact point of exaltation, meaning that King of Wishes is just in the best mood ever. Like, you remember when you were a little kid and you wanted to ask your parents for something, and you want them to be in a good mood, you want them to say yes. Jupiter is like Santa Claus right now, and he's coming to town, and you can ask Santa for whatever you want, especially if you happen to be a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Jupiter is really delivering for the water signs. I'm a water sign myself. I got a Pisces moon. I'm like, bring it, Jupiter. I talked about Jupiter's point of exaltation at great length in my LIONSGATE portal video when Jupiter, Venus, and Sirius all lined up in Cancer near that 15 degrees of Jupiter exaltation, making it the most auspicious LIONSGATE we have ever had. And I recorded this special distance Reiki sound healing video during that celestial alignment that has just been helping so many of my clients and Reiki students right now just to manifest, including myself. I've been listening to that music while I'm doing massages, and I've had some huge surprises of money coming from the strangest places this month. Every time I play the sound healing, something wonderful shows up. So highly recommend, even though the LIONSGATE portal is over now, you can still listen to this music that contains this energy of this powerful Jupiter exaltation alignment because it was recorded then. And we're all going to have this beneficial blessing from Jupiter exalted in Cancer. So this really, even though it's going to be a tough eclipse portal, I'm not going to lie, but there is this blessing of the King Jupiter that is just making it so bearable, and that we really can have our wishes come true, and anything is possible. And this is a powerful time to manifest right now. And if you wake up early in the morning right now, you can see the moon, Jupiter, Venus, and Mercury all lined up in Cancer. I'm going to put an image I took just this morning of that in the post, the community post, so you can see. And I took some pictures this morning on my star app, and Venus is shining so bright as morning star, and she's just empowering that divine feminine rising. And I want to shout out that it's especially lucky vibe for Cancer, of course, because this is your moment to ask, believe, and receive. And you have a good solid 2 years to make it all happen, Cancer. But it's also going to be extremely lucky for Scorpio and Pisces, especially if you are born in that second quadrant around between 8 degrees to 20 degrees, like I am. I'm pretty happy about that because we will have a trine to this exalted Jupiter. Jupiter trine Sun is as good as it gets for making wishes and manifesting. And I was trying to math out astrologically, looking at the chart, like how long will this luck last? Because it's not like it's just one day. You get luck for a period of time. But if you happen to have Scorpio and Pisces, really anywhere from 9 degrees to 23 degrees, you will be blessed with lucky opportunities, things that just fall in your lap. all the way until April 2026. I mean, that's pretty good, right? Next spring. We got till next spring to manifest. And Jupiter's not moving so fast because when planets travel in their exalted signs, Jupiter is exalted in Pisces. That means he's right at home. It's like going home and you're like, oh, good. I'm finally home. I don't want to leave. The planet just wants to relax and slow down and sit on the lazy boy and look at Chiron in Aries. Chiron in Aries, where Chiron is exalted, he's been hanging out in the sign of Aries since 2019. Chiron is currently retrograde. He does not plan on leaving Aries, his home couch in his home cave. He won't leave Aries until 2027, which is a Chiron return, healing the wounded warrior healers that are the Gen X. So just as Chiron exalted is not leaving Aries anytime, Jupiter will retrograde this fall. He will go back to his point of exaltation exact, and then he will go forward and cross that point of, he just wants to keep going past the exaltation. It's like, oh, I felt really good when I was over at that degree of 15 degrees. So Jupiter's going back and then back, and he'll go over it 3 times, crossing this point of exaltation over and over again, giving us all these lucky breaks where things just show up, where the money just falls into your bank account. It's a really good time. Even if you're not Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, you have these water signs somewhere in your chart. So get out your chart and look at where Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces is, and that is where you will find your lucky breaks this whole year, all the way till April of 2026. Luck is coming for us all. Jupiter blesses everyone on this exaltation. And it's really fun to just read the different houses. For example, I am a Scorpio in the 4th house, so my luck comes from my home and being a mom and having those family ties. And then Pisces is in my 8th house. That is a money house for sure. And I have Cancer in the 11th house. I always benefit from my friends. My friends always bring me these wonderful opportunities, and friendship is a huge gift. So if you are Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, or you know what house your Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces are in, leave it in the comments and I will tell you what that house, what that sign, what that planet means. And I'll give you a little Reiki so that you can have that Jupiter luck too. And then that's the good news. Now we're going to go into a little bit of a darker Pluto. As soon as you say Pluto, dun dun dun, Pluto in Aquarius is going out of bounds on August 29th, right in the middle of this eclipse portal. It's wild. And Pluto will be stationed out of bounds. I'm just looking at the chart through 2035. Pluto, oh, out of bounds. This, for a small dwarf planet, this is huge, intense energy over the next decade. As a Scorpio, this is kind of freaking me out because when a planet goes out of bounds, as Pluto is, it becomes magnified in power. And Pluto already is the planet that represents power. So it's like the powerful people are magnified, their power is expanded. Whew. So here we can have power that is out of bounds, crossing the line, exaggerated use of power, dictatorship, fascism. Does this sound familiar? Does this sound like anyone we know in power right now? Pluto has a scary out of bounds moment. And I always have to remember the quote from one of my favorite Scorpios who also had a strong Pluto like me. And I look to him as my role model because I'm like, how do you navigate being a Scorpio stellium with a strong Pluto? And Roosevelt had that too. And he said, there is nothing to fear but fear itself. Nothing to fear but fear itself. That was a really good Oingo Boingo song too. So Pluto out of bounds is going to bring some mayhem to the mix in the middle of this eclipse portal. Pluto rules over plutonium, nuclear energy. So this could be explosive power struggles where you just want to burn it all down. If you know a Scorpio, ask them if they've ever burned it all down. I guarantee you they have. Pluto also rules secrets. So secrets can be revealed when Pluto's out of bounds. Perhaps Pluto will reveal secrets related to the rich and famous and people in power. And I can't wait to read those because Pluto rules over sexual secrets of people in power. I mean, it's coming. It's all coming out now. Pluto represents that death, transformation, and rebirth cycle. We've been in it for years, but now it will be amplified as our old ways and systems are crumbling and people are dying off. My son and I like to go to estate sales, and we are always looking in the estate sale list. And right now, there are so many estate sales. I mean, I need a mansion just to fill it with all this estate sale stuff because everybody's dying. Tell me if that's happening where you live. Look for estate sales. There's a million of them right now because we have an exodus of people dying off. And it's like the old what people are dying and the new babies are coming in. It's really a crossing of the guards. It's really crazy. And Pluto relates to the unconscious, subconscious mind that I love so much. Pluto relates to that subconscious mind that really rules 90% of our actions. Your actions are ruled by your subconscious mind, that reticular activating system. So this is an incredible time for hypnosis, therapy, or healing your old trauma, doing that deep shadow work, that metamorphosis process where you go deep within to heal the really old stuff. Pluto in Aquarius relates to the collective awakening that is necessary for our evolution. And I did a whole separate video about Pluto in Aquarius, and it's called Evolve or Die Trying. This is going to become really even more powerful as Pluto goes out of bounds. So I will link that video below. And I might have to do another video about a deep dive into Pluto out of bounds because we're going to be in it for a minute, a whole decade of Pluto out of bounds. What does that even look like? Unexpected. And I also want to cover Vesta in Scorpio because I'm a huge Vesta lover. Do you know the goddess Vesta? Goddess Vesta is the divine goddess who protects virgins. She housed and supported the Vestal virgins, those sovereign, divine, feminine women who decided not to marry and have children, but instead to become oracles of Delphi. They were the wise women who didn't waste all their energy. If you're single and you never got married and never had children, you have so much spiritual energy available to do other things, these other pursuits. And I just so respect those. I was almost ready to be a Vestal virgin because I was single until I was in my late 30s. So I can resonate with this. And Vesta, because she's the ruler of virgins, as you can imagine, Vesta is empowered in Virgo. When Vesta travels through Virgo, she is empowered. But when we hit Virgo season, that is kind of Vesta season. And now Vesta is traveling through Scorpio, where Vesta finds deep resilience. And she helps us to heal and overcome any sexual trauma, anywhere you've been victimized, anywhere your sovereign, divine, feminine power has been tampered with or taken away. It can even just be, feminist empowerment. And it's so interesting that we're hearing from all these Epstein victims right now with their stories of lost innocence and losing their virginity in traumatic ways, because Vesta in Scorpio is about that sovereign, divine, feminine rising and standing up for anywhere that divine feminine has been traumatized. And this really ties to Venus rising as morning star too, that women are becoming empowered, women are speaking out. If you've had trauma, speak out, even if it's just to a therapist or a friend. This is a time to delve into it, even if it's just getting a journal out and writing your feelings about it. Really, Vesta in Scorpio wants you to pull up those old wounds and heal them. And Vesta burns those hearthside fires that protects virgins, that protects the women who have been sexually victimized. And Vesta in Scorpio is coming in so strong right now as that protector of the fourth house, protecting mothers, children, families. And there is about to be a reckoning, an absolute reckoning for everything that has been done, not only in the innocence loss of all those virgins that were involved in the Epstein situation, but also the families that are being torn apart right now by ICE. There will be a reckoning from Vesta. If anyone can have a reckoning, it's a Vesta in Scorpio. This goddess is pissed, and there is a reclaiming of this divine feminine power. Never underestimate a woman who's been scorned. It is coming. Vesta in Scorpio is bringing this reckoning for all the women who've been abused, for all the families who've been mistreated. And Venus in Cancer at 15 degrees, when we were in that Lionsgate, formed an exact trine to Vesta at Scorpio, 15 degrees. I realized this after the fact. This is perfectly conjunct my own sun in Scorpio in the fourth house, where Vesta is exalted, in 15 degrees. So yeah, I am feeling empowered by this goddess Vesta, and I want to help protect women and children. And it shows up as really wanting to put my family first too. That Vesta in fourth house is about the hearth side, is about taking care of your family above all else. And that is a shift for me because I'm usually so 10th house career. But right now, I just want to focus on my family. And when you get to my age, you realize what's really important. And it's your family, your children, being with the ones you love. It's not about work or having all those things. So I love Vesta in Scorpio, and she's just coming in so strong for this whole eclipse portal, saying the divine feminine is rising. The sovereign woman will have a reckoning. If you're going through menopause, that is also a time of reckoning and reclaiming. So get out your journal and see, where is your reckoning? What do you need to reclaim? How can you reclaim your divine feminine power? And then we have Saturn going retrograde on September 1st, going back to Pisces for the very last time in our lifetime. So I'm going to unpack that. I'm going to save that for my Pisces blue moon report, but I just wanted to give you a heads up because it's going to happen before that report might come out. And Saturn is going to be coming in real strong when he stations retrograde, also right in the middle of this eclipse portal. There's just so much going on. I'm already getting friends saying, what is going on? We're already feeling it. If you're sensitive, if you're intuitive, you're like, something's happening, something's coming. August 28th, we will have a sweet Uranus and Gemini in a harmonious sextile to Neptune and Aries just after this new moon. This is a collective spiritual awakening, and the veil is thin. As we're in this eclipse portal, we can use this beautiful Gemini Aries, this, harmonious sextile between Uranus and Neptune. Use this energy to connect with a higher wisdom. You could do meditation, yoga, sound healing, Reiki, energy clearing, space clearing. Get out in nature. You could just go for a walk in nature and do nature therapy, listening to the birds, looking for spirit animal totem animals to show up and give you messages. You can channel the advice of your ancestors, spirit guides. The messages will be all around you. So pay attention to the signs on August 28th. Put a star on your calendar because this combines that dreamy intuition of Neptune with the powerful flashes of insight, which is Uranus, and the aha moments. And it can give yourself some time and space on August 28th. You just might receive a divine message that changes your life. We're in the portal, we're soaking in it. And if you're an artist, musician, or writer, this sextile will become your muse. Use it as your muse. Create something beautiful on this day. And there's just a lot going on this new moon. So give yourself a break if you're feeling overwhelmed. I was feeling overwhelmed. I was like, I'm just going to do a short video. And then I was like, oh, there's a lot going on. Yeah, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed just to tell you. Let alone we haven't even begun to go through it. So let's read the Sabian symbol real quick for 1 degrees of Virgo. There's not a Sabian symbol for 0 degrees. This new moon and sun that starts the eclipse portal, that waxes into that Pisces blood moon, it's at 0 degrees, but I'm going to read the Sabian symbol for 1 degrees. That's where we're headed. In a portrait, the significant features of a man's head are artistically emphasized. And this is the capacity to picture oneself clearly with prominent features and overall meaning of one's life situation. The fall is always a time to just take a look at who you are and your life situation and kind of take a review of where you are and where you're going. And Virgo brings the harvest season, but this is also the path of a true disciple that requires determination, commitment, and training to bring about one's manifestation of significance. In this first degree of Virgo, what is required is discrimination that includes an analysis of intuition for what matters, what really matters. We were just talking about that. What really matters? Spend your time and energy there. Ignore everything else. Discover the patterns of the evolution of humanity as a whole and leave it to Virgo to have the most complex Sabian symbol. Virgos, they're so smart. And I don't even really completely understand us, but Virgo has us up in our heads trying to figure it all out, trying to use discrimination, trying to be the disciple, having that determination, commitment, and training that will ignore everything that is not important and be hyper focused on what really matters in this eclipse portal for you to become who you're meant to be, that magic triangle. We got a lot going on. And when we have that Pisces blood moon eclipse on September 7th, we will lose our minds again, and it will be a very different experience. And this is how these opposing signs work. It's so wild because Virgo is the most analytical, logical, smartest sign of the zodiac, whereas Pisces is the most ethereal, dreamy, nebulous sign. So we are Virgo trying to use our mind to discriminate and be the disciple, and we're starting off on the journey really with our hyper focused thinking mind. But Pisces blood moon is going to take us, and it's like Pisces blood moon has put something in our drink. And then we're going to lose our minds. And it's going to be a roller coaster eclipse portal on this Pisces Virgo axis. So get to know where your Pisces and Virgo are. That is where you're going to be feeling it in your life. And we will just try to make sense of the mystery. And let me know if you figure it out. If anybody figures it out, it would be a Virgo. So I'd love to know. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Thank you.